Welcome to Cinemondo with Kathy and Ramesh. We
Hello.
are here to review Retro. We finally saw it. Very
Yes,
exciting.
we did.
We did. We had to wait for streaming because it did not show here in the theaters. Yeah, so Retro, I was very excited about Retro because I love Karthik Subbaraj and I love Surya. It just seemed like a perfect pairing. Was it
Yep.
perfect?
It was.
Perfect.
I kind of like Surya's character
Oh, I did
in the
too.
movie.
Right.
Yeah, his performance has been dynamic, especially his
Hmm.
ability to convey deep emotions
Yeah.
and the nuances. So
Yeah.
yeah, this seems to be I would consider a significant comeback for Surya,
Yeah.
given his the streak of movies that he's been doing.
Yeah. What's up
Yeah.
with that? He's been in some great movies. I love 24. It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good. He
Yeah.
played like multiple roles. He was amazing. He's a fantastic actor. I love him. I feel
Yeah.
like when I was watching it, I when it first started, it felt very choppy, and I felt like, what am I watching? Like, it just didn't feel like a Kartik movie. Like, it felt very overly edited. Like, they had all this weird, rough editing, and then I wasn't quite sure what Surya's character was supposed to be signifying in the very beginning, but
Mm-hmm.
I did love seeing Surya in a clown outfit. I
Yeah.
have to say, I didn't expect that. So he spent a lot of time entertaining people with a weird clown outfit on, which I thought was a strange idea. It felt like a few different movies happening at once. I don't think it necessarily gave the right amount of attention to the right storylines. They almost wanted to make everything equal. So we have the relationship idea with Pooja.
Mhm.
You can get into that. It had the kind of, his criminal background, how
Yeah.
he grew up. He was like the kid who would do anything. He was a criminal from the very beginning, and then he was
Mhm.
then he's in jail and he's entertaining everyone with his dance skills in jail.
Yeah.
And then he gets out and he, as part of, I guess, part of his rehabilitation, he is going to be a clown. Then he's basically recruited into like a gladiator type fighting thing, which was
Mhm.
interesting. Then there's a cult, like a weird kind of cult that
Yeah.
main guy kind of puts the gladiator fights on as some sort of, he tries to make it some sort of special kind of religious, in a way, kind of religious practice to make people
Mhm.
fight. So I feel like there were a lot of ideas that didn't quite meld, but they were all very interesting ideas. What do you think?
Yes, they were quite interesting. I mean, they could have just focused on one crime drama.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
he is an orphan. He's been
Yeah.
adopted by Jojo George.
Yeah.
Although he dislikes him initially, he treats him as his like right hand
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
He calls him. He has this weird expression where he's calling him his son, but he isn't.
Yeah.
He's not honest about it.
Yeah.
Just because Surya is really very good at
Yeah.
you know beating up others, so he gives him this title,
Yeah.
like my iron arm son.
Mhm.
So yeah, but there are different aspects that I was paying attention to apart from the storyline itself, like one being the color grading,
Yeah.
which kind of went really very well with the title. In a
Yeah.
way, when you say
Yeah.
retro, it has to have these nostalgic vibes,
Yes.
and there were so many different grading schemes that were
Yeah.
kind of
That's true.
experimented or used in the movie. So for
Yeah.
example, the intro of the movie itself, like the
Mhm.
intro credits,
Yeah.
that has this like graphic novel
Yeah.
or comic book strip where
Mhm.
the young Paari is fighting the villains, and then at the same time they're showing this graphical
Yeah.
like
It's very
comic
like,
part of Surya. Yeah,
yeah.
which was kind of really very
Yeah.
refreshing to me. I haven't seen this kind
No.
of creativity in other
Yeah.
movies lately. And yeah, and then there were certain parts where there were like these high contrast scenes that was in the beginning
Yeah.
of the movie too,
Mhm.
right after the intro credits, and that
Yeah.
kind of reminded me of Sin City. I was like hoping, okay,
Yeah.
maybe there is this Sin City aspect to it, going forward we might be seeing this high contrast, like desaturated look.
Yeah.
But I think it ended at the intro itself. So
That was the
I did.
intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, retro intro, and the retro part of it, it's basically set in the '90s, but it felt like the '70s. Just
Oh,
everything about it.
this goes way back,
It
1960s.
starts in '60s and then ends
Yeah.
in the '90s, I think.
And then there are like, as you said, when you talk about the different plot lines, one thing that
Yeah.
quickly comes to my mind is the sugar plantations,
Oh, yeah.
slavery,
Yeah.
the touch of like colonialism,
Mhm.
Portuguese.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
Okay, we
A lot.
do agree. There are a
Yeah.
lot of things,
A lot.
and yeah, in a way, it's there. But there are certain aspects apart from these. For example, how the way they use the name of the places. For
Mhm.
example, Tuticorin, where
Mhm.
the whole story starts.
Yeah.
currently it's called as Thuthukudi. That's the
Okay.
original name, like that's the name they had way back then.
Right.
And even the accent of Surya,
Yeah.
his the dialect that he has is from that region.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Wordings,
cool.
if you yeah, if you haven't understand Tamil, you'll see there are
Yeah.
notable differences.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think yeah, the team especially behind Retro, they did pay attention to a few things.
Mhm.
But then at the same time, given the runtime of the movie, the it's an how should I say, ambitious project
Yes.
given like regarding like especially the character development or even the plot line.
Yeah.
So
It's like, like you're saying, like he's basically been a criminal from day one. Like he
mhm,
was raised as a criminal. He became a criminal. He got caught. He served
yeah.
time in jail. He got out. He was trying to rehabilitate himself, but he just could not resist the pull to go back to it. And even when he did, and she was like upset with him, like, why? And he's just like, it's who I am. That's what I
I
am.
mean
Leave
that's
me the hell
part
alone.
that's a straightforward truth, right? Like there's
Yeah.
nothing much you can do about it. He grew up being a gangster. Come on, you
Yeah.
cannot
He's gonna be a
take
gangster.
it. Yeah, he cannot become a common man like in
Right.
one day.
He's not gonna be a
So
clown forever.
and then that's where I saw this disparity too. Like there
Yeah.
is in terms of the continuity of the movie itself, it's like I know that Pooja Hegde's
Yeah.
character, it's called Rukmini. Her name is
Mhm.
Rukmini. She knows that he's a gangster growing up. Come
Mhm.
on, and then each and every time he's like, "You were not supposed to do it."
Yeah.
Even if they're trying to kill you, then what is he supposed to? Like, there's no solution to it. It's
No.
it's just
Yeah.
yeah, that's something. I mean, honestly, I feel that although this movie is surrounded around romance and love, that
Mhm.
part of it hasn't been developed at all.
Yeah, it felt a
Yeah.
little like she felt like she didn't grow, but I did love her character because she's very much into animals, and I love that. She was trying to rescue animals. She didn't like
Hmm.
the poaching. She was trying to say
Yeah.
the really sad scene with the deer and everything. So she was really trying to, like she's a vet, I think. So
Yeah.
she's really
She's
trying to
a
help
vet.
animals. So I really like that. So they posit her as a very, you know, uh, loving character who cared about nature, and that was kind of her whole role. He is
Hmm.
completely like he's completely the opposite. So
Yeah.
when he's finally like, in a way, I feel like the movie was kind of holding back a little bit. Like it almost felt almost annoyed with itself as it was trying to develop it, and he was trying to be a good guy. When he finally
Hmm.
goes, "It's who I am. That's it," and he starts becoming like the gladiator, like he starts becoming the guy who was like committing all the violence. It sort of came alive at that point, like kind of
Yes.
just
He
juiced up.
did.
So good.
Because he's frustrated with her too. Like
Yeah.
Paari is frustrated with Rukmini because she
Yeah.
doesn't understand him,
No.
and then she is the anchor of the movie because
Yeah.
he's trying to do everything for her.
Yeah.
Uh, that's why I feel that they could have done a better job in terms of the development of romance
Yeah.
and her screenplay. Honestly, there wasn't much work for her.
No, she didn't do a
Be-
lot.
yeah, because it's in and out. Like the total movie is all about like Surya, his
Mhm.
performance.
Yeah, it was definitely about him.
Yeah,
She was
and
a
for
side
that,
character.
yeah, the cult having those groups, two groups fighting each other. That for
Mhm.
some reason it kind of reminded me of Far Cry. I don't know if you
Oh,
played that game.
yeah.
It's mostly yeah, there is this cult group.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a dictator who's like brainwashing or he brings in slaves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just for
So
entertainment. It's the Gladiator. I mean, that entertainment then was that. But see, now we
mhm,
have like, and I do have to give a shout out to Vidhu who played the bad
yeah.
guy. He was amazing because he was almost like hippie, like almost a Charles Manson type to me. Like
Mhm.
he was kind of hippy dippy love and this and that, and then like the higher consciousness. Yes, you have to commit all this terrible violence to reach and he was perfect. Like
Yes.
everything about wardrobe. The only thing that was funny is when he actually had to fight, he was actually good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he should not have been good. He should have been like everyone else doing the bad heavy lifting, and he was up there going, "Yeah, everybody do it for me." But he was really ripped. He knew what he was doing. But their fight together was really entertaining. I love Suri and him finally facing off. That was a
Yes.
very fun fight. I thought that was
That was
great,
a
and they
good
hung him
thing
up,
too.
and he
Mhm.
lived through all of that. And still, they hung him up like that. I was like, "Oh my god!" So
That was a good fight.
it was good.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I for me, my take was that this cult they rely heavily on drugs. So
Oh
come on,
yeah,
he's a
definitely.
jacked up villain
Oh
out there. Even though he doesn't know how to fight, come on, he has to be like neurotic or something. He
uh,
will fight. He's gonna be crazy.
yeah. He smokes enough crack and takes enough meth. Maybe I don't
Yeah,
know the '90s, whatever's going on then. Great, I loved him because
this
everyone kind of just acquiesced to this guy. Like they're like, yeah, sure. Like I don't know
yeah,
why they did. So Surya
but
was kind of challenging him. I liked that.
honestly, I think I felt really funny about one part though. You have these. I don't know if you notice those side characters, especially
Yeah.
uh, uh, like the foreigners who were as a part of that cult group who were
Yes.
enjoying the show of the
Yes.
fight.
Like this is
They
cool.
were they were like clueless about what is happening. If you notice, like especially when the scene they hang up the villain
Yeah.
Vinu, and then they're still like there are people playing the guitar and the drums, and I'm like,
And they're like,
and when Joju
well,
George
act
comes on
right.
the Joju George comes on the island, they're still there playing. They're just
Yeah. This
it's
is
like
a show. We're putting on a show.
I was like, are these like non-playable characters in a game?
Exactly. Little NPCs that are just in the
Yeah,
background, just keep doing their thing. And they also, I thought it was funny how they kept kind of going back to the clown thing. Like they had the two, Surya
yeah.
and the other guy, they kept going back and forth to the clown thing. Like the clown thing was like the performative thing of this is my rehabilitation. This means I'm a good guy. So when
Hmm.
Surya finally goes, no, I'm not going to do it anymore, the clown replacement, I forget who the actor was that played that. It wasn't Joji for
Um, no, the clown replacement is
clown replacement. He was earnestly into it. Like he loved being a clown. Like he's like, this is me. I like it.
yeah.
I like that contrast of like, even though it was humiliating it was humiliating to watch Surya look like that, number one.
Hmm.
And then the fact that he didn't like it. And it was like, this is not him. This nobody wants
Yeah,
to see
that
this.
the clown doctor was played by Jairam.
Okay.
So
So good.
yeah, I mean that's good. I mean
Hmm.
they wanted to. So this movie is split into three segments,
Yeah.
which is love, laughter, and
Yeah.
war.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
laughter part of it is where they bring him in,
Yeah.
and yeah,
And love, you know.
yeah,
So yeah, it makes sense. The title is perfect.
yeah.
And they had the one dance scene. We reacted to
Oh,
that dance scene. That was good.
wow, that was
That was really good.
amazing.
Really good.
I was actually looking at the time. It's a 15-minute shot.
One shot. Yeah, it was
It's a
amazing.
one shot.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and I love
Mhm.
the way they actually showed, keeping it as realistic as possible. Like
Mhm.
especially there are these nuances if you notice, like Surya Paari goes to talk to his dad
Yeah.
because he's waiting for him upstairs.
Yep.
The music fades out. He goes
Yep.
into a serious conversation.
You
Everything
gotta do
happens,
that.
and then he comes back to again to the bride, and then he's dancing there. And then there are certain aspects where he's telling the dancers who are a part of the song, you need to make this arch. He
Yeah.
literally says that, can you make that arch? Because that's for the video shoot of the wedding.
I
Like if you have
love
a videographer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
So
so they
I,
kinda crossed into the fourth wall, but it wasn't
yeah,
really, but it was. Yeah, it was fascinating. It was really well done.
yeah.
I love a good one
So
shot. It's so
that
good.
was really very good. And I think, yeah, Santosh Narayan's score was really like the music
Yeah,
and the
the music
soundtrack.
was
It
great.
did, it is catchy.
Mhm.
The songs were catchy. The music
Yeah,
was great. It was setting all the mood.
yeah.
So yeah, I liked it. I liked
I
that
liked
part of
it.
it.
I liked it a lot. I was hoping more because they sold it more like a little bit of a love story in the trailers also.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
ultimately, Karthik Subbaraj is a massive talent. I feel like he's made
Yes.
3, well, more than that, but the last 3 have been great movies. This one
Mm-hmm.
is hard to be as good as Jigartonda X, which to me was a masterpiece. That was a perfect, incredible film, and I loved how he rolled in the love of film into that,
Mm-hmm.
his obsession with, like, American Hollywood films, including Clint Eastwood movies, which that whole movie was kinda the backbone of that was the villain who loved Clint Eastwood so much, he bought a theater and only showed Clint Eastwood movies. I love that idea.
Yeah.
So he rolled that into it, made it very accessible, and then just the whole idea of it, so many epic themes in that movie. So it was really hard to come from that and
Yeah.
then kind of scale down a little bit, be a gangster movie. But I was really hoping that when he was going to do a gangster movie, he would really go after like the same kind of love of movies and go more into like
Mm-hmm.
Wasseyper or even like some of the American gangster movies like Goodfellas or
Yeah.
Scorsese. I would love to see his take on that because that would have been
Yeah.
perfect. Grittier, darker, simpler. That would have been really cool. But he was making a
Yeah.
different movie. That's fine. He made it a little more campy. He's kind of in that zone a little bit. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I think he is definitely the filmmaker to watch for me right now. Like I pretty much will see everything he does. He's so good. Even
Yes.
pizza. I mean,
Yeah.
so good. So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this movie. I'm glad you liked it too. I was glad we finally get to see it because I've been looking forward to this one. Anything
Mm-hmm.
he does. I don't know what he's
Yeah.
doing next, but we got to find out. Well, if
Yeah.
anyone knows the next Karthik Subbaraj movie, please let us know. I want to know.
Yeah.
So let us know what you thought of this movie. Is there anything we missed? Is there anything else? Do you have any other final thoughts, Ramesh? Do you have
No,
any?
I think it's overall it's been a good movie.
Yeah,
So Surya, he really anchors the film with
yeah.
his intense performance.
He's a great actor.
Yeah. So I think if for people out there, especially who are
Yeah.
looking for a movie, let's say it's a feast for the senses, I would say.
Yes, it is.
Especially if you like or love the retro vibes, the music,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
a different stylish kind of
Mhm.
filmmaking. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a great filmmaker, and even just for that, like you said, that one shot alone, and then the fight scenes at the end. I mean, there's some great stuff to love in this movie. So,
Yeah.
highly recommend it. It's not perfect, but it's a great filmmaker, great actors. So you will definitely have a fun ride if you watch this movie. So let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Bye.